Everyone, this is Rudy for Bester Investor. So back with my favorite subject and yours, Occidental Petroleum. And what I thought I would do today is analyze some of the analyst reviews. So this deck has quite a few slides, but I can go through them reasonably quickly because analysts, they pretty much all say the same thing. But let's see if we can pick up some of the gems within the analyst reports on Occidental as of today, which is August the 21st of 2020. Right, so the first analyst we're going to look at is MarketEdge, and let's see what they're saying here. And I realize that this is probably a little small for you on your screen, so I'm just going to highlight some things for you. Firstly, avoid and downgraded this week. So they downgraded Occidental on August the 17th from neutral to avoid. The other thing that's interesting on this particular slide is they're saying avoid the stock, but then on their second line, they say the stock is not a short sale candidate. So that's an interesting sort of contradiction in terms. So if they say avoid the stock, that means they obviously are saying quite positively that the stock is going to go down, in which case you probably would want to short it. And then the next little line over here, which you probably can't read, says if you're long, close your position or monitor the stock closely. So I'm not going to be closing my position that I'm holding Occidental today, but I am monitoring the stock closely, as you can tell, as per the information that I've been sharing with you. This is as of yesterday. We can see Occidental is on sale once again, trading at around $13. If it keeps going down, soon you're going to be able to buy it on discount at $9.99. Hopefully not, but let's see what happens. Anyway, that's MarketEdge. Then the next one is new constructs. So we look at this analyst report. Again, you know, it's unattractive. They say we do not recommend OXY to investors. They say investors must avoid OXY. OXY earns our unattractive rating. The unattractive rating means that the stock has more downside risk than upside potential. So yeah, pretty much the same as the previous one I just showed you from MarketEdge. Next one, CFRA. CFRA says on August the 15th, Occidental Petroleum is a strong sell. So obviously the positions within Oxy, the institutional investors are at around the high 60s, almost 70%. And there's not a lot short activity in the stock right now. It's around 4% from memory. So saying it's a strong sell. So none of those institutional investors are going to be selling their stock. So yeah, it's a strong sell. But to whom? Like, to whom are they recommending this? The other thing that's interesting here, 12-month target price, $11. That might prove to be correct, the way Oxy has been sliding since the Q2 earnings report and the last numbers we saw from them, which was obviously not very good. So nothing earth-shattering here except for the fact that they're saying it's a strong sell. But I actually don't think too many people would be selling at this time. Obviously, we all know that Warren Buffett or Berkshire Hathaway recently sold all their Oxy Common, but that's a nice thing for them to do because they hold the preferreds on which they're earning a coupon of 8%. So the commons are not actually that valuable to Berkshire Hathaway. Right, let's look at the next one. This is Credit Suisse. This one's just a couple of days old, so August the 19th. They make reference here to the recent sale of assets, which generated approximately $1.3 billion for Oxy to add to its balance sheet. The other interesting thing on here is the rating. It's underperformed with a price target of $8. I can tell you with reasonable confidence if Oxy actually hits a price of $8, I might be tempted to add to my existing position for sure. Just to average my cost basis down a little. So that's Credit Suisse. Research team, similarly to the previous few, reduce. Last close price was $13.40. That was as of yesterday. They've downgraded Occidental from hold to reduce. Otherwise, nothing too earth-shattering on here. But perhaps the most interesting little side comment here tucked away on the side of the screen is RT research team has a rating accuracy of 25%. And of course, as you know, it's relatively easy for analysts because if they downgrade a stock and the stock goes up, then they just change their rating. Yeah, or if they tell you the stock is, has a better rating, and the stock underperforms, then they just change their rating. So no big deal. Anyway, research team pretty much the same as the previous ones I just mentioned. The Street with our famous residential TV clown Jim Cramer. So let's see what the Street says. Nothing earth-shattering on here. It just tells you what Occidental does in terms of their business and where they are located. The stock is rated a D on the Street. Obviously, they say you must sell it. Once again, I'm not sure any of the institutional holders of Occidental are going to be selling it right now. But so yeah, you can always question, like, who are you actually speaking to when you say sell? Forward equity, another one. The rating here is 4 on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is best, 5 is worst. So Oxy is almost at 5, but hey, some good news sneaking in here. It was actually rated 5 until very recently when they upgraded it, albeit just slightly, from 5 to 4. This is price as of August the 14th, so it's about a week ago. And over here it says, we project that Oxy will underperform the market over the next 6 to 12 months. This is very, very possible. It says this projection is based on our analysis of 3 factors that influence the common stock performance, earnings strength, relative valuation, and recent price movement. Nothing too earth-shattering there as well, just sort of a look back. Anyway, same as all the others, right? This one's a little different. Vickers looks at insider trading. So over here, we see a few smart guys actually picked up some shares. In particular, we look at William Glass and Kenneth Dillon. Over here, they picked up about 30,000 shares between them when Oxy was trading near its all-time low in March. So they literally bought those sort of $9.99 shares on special. Good for them. And then we see Oscar Brown been dumping stock. So usually from an insider selling point of view, if the insiders are buying, that's a good signal. If the insiders are selling, that's a bad signal. I was personally an insider to a publicly traded company in my previous life, and my CEO used to say, we don't like to see the insiders selling the stock because it kind of indicates to the market that there's a lack of confidence from the people who hold all the insider information. And for the greater part, that's true. So in this particular graph, we can see Oscar Brown has been selling a whole lot of shares. In fact, in the space of just a couple of months, Oscar sold 82,000 shares. So then the question is, who is Oscar Brown? Ironically, that is my next slide. Who is Oscar Brown? Formerly the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Business Development and Supply Chain. He left the company in March, as per the proxy statement. His departure wasn't formally announced. I don't really care what he was earning. The executive changes come a little more than a week after Occidental and billionaire activist investor Carl Icahn reached an agreement ending a nearly year-long conflict. The deal added 3 Icahn designated directors to Occidental's board, and I think by now this is probably old news. The other thing that's kind of tucked away here in my scribbles is that Brown had played a substantial role in Occidental's acquisition of Anadarko Petroleum, which closed last year in August. is there any positive news at all related to Occidental? So rather than just looking at the analysts, let's see what some of the financial institutions saying. So SunTrust upgraded the stock in mid-June from a hold to a buy on the view that it could produce nearly $4 billion of free cash in 2021. Bank of America made a similar move earlier this month with the same thesis, although it expects the company to produce $7 billion in free cash throughout the rest of 2020 and into 2021. Raymond James reiterated a strong buy rating last month on its view that Occidental trades at 9% free cash flow yield for 2021 and that asset sales will soon be a realistic option for the company thanks to improving oil prices. And these dual fuels, so the increased oil prices plus the disposition of some of the assets will give it the cash it needs to shore up its balance sheet. And then finally, Morningstar. So maybe Morningstar is the odd one out. Occidental has a 3-star rating. That's not too bad. That's as of August the 20th. Its last price and then the fair value estimate, which is really interesting over here, is $26 per share. According to their quantitative valuation, Occidental is undervalued. I think most of the people who follow my videos and most of the people who follow Occidental would agree that Occidental is undervalued. And potentially for patient investors who are perhaps not too risk averse, in fact, you probably need some balls to hold or open a new position in Oxy. It could be rewarding, but it might take a little bit of time and you would need to be patient. So guys, that's my wrap. This is Rudy for Best Investor. That's my analysis of the analyst reports so that you don't have to spend too much time reviewing all the analyst reports. At the end of the day, most of the analysts say pretty much exactly the same thing. There's like a herd effect there. And then, of course, when things change, then they all change their tune as well. So I'm not actually even criticizing them. They're just doing their job. But we need to make sure we do our own homework and then decide whether something is worth investing in or not. I maintain my thesis that Occidental is undervalued. And if you are patient, and patience in this case might be rewarded over a period of 3 to 5 years, you could do very well. But you do need to stay in the game and tread carefully in terms of making any investment here. So once again, it's not investment advice. It's just my review of Occidental Petroleum. Take care, and I'll see you soon with another update on Occidental. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.